Many of us have dreamt of turning our hobbies into a thriving income stream by selling unique creations on Etsy. Imagine crafting beautiful items, listing them online, and watching the orders roll while you sip coffee, making an easy $500 or even $1,000 extra each month. It sounds idyllic, a perfect side hustle. But here's what often gets left out of the picture. The reality for most new sellers is far from a passive income paradise. It's a crowded marketplace demanding significant time, unexpected costs, and a steep learning curve. Before you invest your weekends and savings into an Etsy shop, you need to understand the often overlooked truths that separate the dreamers from the earners. Let's peel back the layers and see what's truly involved, starting with the biggest shocker for many, the fees. So, you made a beautiful custom piece, priced it at $30, and expect to pocket most of that. Think again. Etsy's fee structure is surprisingly complex and can quickly erode your profit margins if you're not meticulous. First, there's a 20 cents listing fee for each item, which might seem negligible, but it renews every 4 months, unless you're in a country where it's every 3 months, like India, or when an item sells. Then, a 6.5% transaction fee on the total sale price, including shipping. If a customer pays with Etsy payments, there's the payment processing fee varies by country. For sellers in the US, it's 2.9% plus 25 cents, but it can be higher or lower in other regions. On top of that, if Etsy brings you a buyer through their off-site ads program, they take a whopping 15% off-site ads fee on that sale. But it drops to 12% if your sales from off-site ads reach $10,000 or more in a 365-day period. Let's say you sell a $30 item with $5 shipping. That's 20 cents listing, $2.27 transaction, 6.5% of $35, and $1.27 payment processing, 2.9% of $35 plus 25 cents in the US. That's $3.77 in fees on a $35 sale, over 10% before materials or shipping costs. Understanding these from the start is crucial. But what about the biggest cost of all? Your time? Many aspiring Etsy sellers underestimate the sheer amount of time involved in running a successful shop. It's not just about creating the product. You're the designer, manufacturer, photographer, copywriter, customer service representative, marketer, and shipping department. Crafting 10 unique handmade necklaces might take you 15 hours. Photographing them professionally, editing images, and writing compelling product descriptions could easily add another 5 to 8 hours. Then there's packaging, shipping, responding to customer inquiries, and promoting your listings on social media. What begins as a 5-hour week hobby can quickly balloon into a 20 to 30-hour-a-week second job. Especially as orders pick up, this time investment, often unpaid in the beginning, significantly impacts your true hourly earnings. We'll explore how to calculate that later, but first, let's talk about the competition. Etsy boasts millions of active sellers and even more active listings. Think about that for a second. If you're selling handmade jewelry, there are likely hundreds of thousands of other shops selling similar items. Standing out in such a crowded marketplace is incredibly challenging. It's not enough to simply have a great product. You need a unique selling proposition, exceptional photography, and a strong brand identity. Many new sellers launch with generic items or uninspired photos, quickly getting lost in the noise. This isn't to say it's impossible, but it requires a level of differentiation and marketing savvy that most beginners don't anticipate. Without a clear strategy to cut through this clutter, your beautiful creations might never see the light of day. But how do you actually get noticed without spending a fortune? Relying solely on Etsy's internal search for visibility is a recipe for disappointment. While Etsy SEO is important, it's just one piece of the puzzle. True success often comes from driving external traffic to your shop. This means actively promoting your products on social media platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, or TikTok. You might need to learn how to create engaging content, run targeted ads, or collaborate with influencers. Building an email list, running promotions, and even setting up your own blog can also funnel buyers to your Etsy shop. This isn't optional, it's essential. Expect to dedicate several hours a week to marketing and promotion, treating it as seriously as product creation. Neglecting this aspect is a common mistake that leads to stagnant sales. But what's the real cost of getting started? While Etsy often gets touted as a low-cost side hustle, startup expenses can quickly add up beyond just your craft supplies. Beyond the 20 cents listing fees, consider the tools and equipment you might need. A good quality camera or a light box for product photography is crucial. Professional packaging supplies, custom branding materials, and shipping labels aren't free. You might also invest in design software, a website domain if you plan to expand, or even a small inventory management system. If you're selling digital products, there's software for creation. Realistically, you could be looking at an initial investment of $200 to $500 just to get a professional-looking shop off the ground, not including your actual product materials. This initial outlay can be a barrier for many, so budgeting carefully from day one is key. But what happens if you price your items incorrectly? One of the biggest mistakes new sellers make is underpricing their items. They look at competitors, see similar products for $15, and price theirs at $14 to be competitive, thinking they'll make a quick sale. Here's what happens. After factoring in material costs, your time, Etsy fees, remember those? And shipping supplies, that $14 item might actually cost you $12 to produce and sell. You're left with a meager $2 profit, which translates to pennies per hour if it took you 30 minutes to make. A common formula is to price your item at material cost plus labor cost, x2 or 3, then add Etsy fees and shipping. For a $10 material cost item that takes 1 hour, valued at $20 per hour, your base cost is $30. Doubling that for profit margin would be $60, then add fees. Underpricing will quickly burn you out, making the side hustle unsustainable. So, how do you actually make money? Let's work through a realistic example for a custom-designed t-shirt. Say the blank shirt costs $6 and the heat transfer or vinyl costs $4. You spend 30 minutes designing and pressing, valuing your time at $25 per hour, so that's $12.50 in labor. Total direct cost is $22.50. If you sell it for $35, the Etsy fees, listing, transaction, payment processing will be around $4. So your net before shipping is $35 to $22.50. $4 equals $8.50. If shipping costs $5 and you charge the customer $5, your profit is still $8.50. That's not bad for 30 minutes of work. But if you underpriced it at $25, your profit would shrink to less than $1. You need to aim for at least a 25 to 30% net profit margin after all costs to make it worthwhile. Don't be afraid to price your products for their true value. Otherwise, it's just an expensive hobby. But what about getting your items to customers? Shipping is another area where new sellers often trip up. Accurately calculating shipping costs, printing labels, and finding reliable carriers can be daunting. You need to consider packaging materials, boxes, bubble wrap, tissue paper, the weight and dimensions of your finished product, and whether to offer free shipping, which means building the cost into your product price. Using Etsy's integrated shipping labels can save you money compared to retail rates, often offering discounts from USPS or FedEx. A common mistake is simply guessing at shipping costs, leading to either overcharging customers, losing sales, or undercharging, losing money. Researching your shipping options and packaging needs beforehand is non-negotiable. This logistical puzzle can be a significant time sink, but it's crucial for customer satisfaction. So, how do you manage customer expectations? Once you start selling, customer service becomes a major part of your daily routine. Buyers often have questions before purchasing, during the shipping process, and occasionally after delivery. Responding promptly and professionally is vital for good reviews and repeat business. This means checking messages multiple times a day, even on weekends, dealing with custom order requests, handling returns or exchanges, and resolving shipping issues all take time and emotional labor. A negative review can significantly impact your shop's visibility and future sales, so maintaining a high level of customer satisfaction is paramount. This isn't just a side project. It's a small business where you're the face of your brand. But what if your product doesn't sell as expected? Even with the best products and customer service, returns and refunds are an unavoidable part of e-commerce. Whether an item arrives damaged, the customer changes their mind, or there's a sizing issue, you'll need a clear return policy. Processing returns means lost revenue, potential restocking fees, and the cost of return shipping. For custom or personalized items, Returns can be particularly painful, as the item might be unsellable to anyone else. It's crucial to factor a small percentage of potential returns into your business model and pricing. While a smooth return process can turn a negative experience into a positive one for the customer, it still impacts your bottom line in time. So, how do you actually grow this thing? Once you've mastered the basics and are consistently making sales, the next challenge is scaling. Can you efficiently produce more items as orders increase? Do you need to outsource certain parts of your process, like printing or packaging? Many sellers hit a ceiling where their manual production can't keep up with demand, or their time becomes too stretched. This is where automation and strategic investments come into play. Maybe it's investing in a better heat press, hiring a part-time assistant, or exploring print-on-demand services for certain products. Scaling isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter and leveraging resources to grow without burning out. It's a critical step that differentiates a successful side hustle from a passion project. But after all this, what's the single most important takeaway? Etsy offers incredible potential for a side hustle, but it demands realistic expectations and a strategic approach. It's not a passive income shortcut. It's a genuine small business requiring dedication, continuous learning, and a willingness to adapt. Understand the fees, value your time correctly, market relentlessly, and prepare for the logistical challenges. The biggest takeaway is this: treat your Etsy shop like a real business from day one, and you'll dramatically increase your chances of turning your passion into a profitable income stream. If you found this deep dive helpful, please consider subscribing for more realistic side hustle strategies and income opportunities.